What is up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video. The season 11 of Go Battle League is finally here upon us. A season where we have ELO instead of the interlude season where there was no ELO, and it was just about getting in those battles, trying stuff out. We finally have a season with ranks, ELO again, and I am very excited to get things going. And as I typically do, we are starting the new season with the 150 Pokemon Challenge. I've done it before in Open Great League. This time, I'm doing it in Great League Remix. So we have our first two sets of the season for you here that I'm going to be going through. That's why we don't have our typical team graphic on the left-hand side, because I'm going to be switching teams every single time. So I just highlighted some of the Pokemon that you'll see featured here over in that left-hand side. And of course, we're someone that we play PvP all the time. I play a ton of different formats versus a lot of these opponents in the early ranks are going to be very casual players who are probably just tapping away, trying to get some Stardust, trying to get some rewards, with really not as much experience or interest in PvP. So me going, let's hypothetically say 5-0 this first set, that's not me. This is no way me like showing, oh, I can win with random Pokemon, because at the high level I would not be able to win at a high rate with random Pokemon. But in these early ranks, because we have the experience advantage over a lot of these players in rank 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, we are able to win most of these games just running some pretty crazy teams that sometimes make some sense, sometimes don't, and we'll get into the commentary. So this was a funny one where we're able to BM, as they say. Whenever I use the word BM, that lingo, I usually get at least one question like, what does that mean? That means bad manners. I didn't know what it meant at first. Twitch has all sorts of lingo that I had to ask what it meant. I'm 23 years old, but sometimes I feel old on Twitch with all this new lingo. And that'll definitely surprise at least one person in comments. People always think I'm a lot older than 23. So we led Octillery into an Acid Tentacruel. It was not running Poison Jab. And a Rock Smash Poliwrath comes in against our Ghost Grass type. So this is very dominant for Gourgeist. I'm wondering what the heck could be in back if they came in with this against by Gourgeist. Oh, excuse me. It's almost midnight. I'm getting sleepy. And there's a Peruglian back. So this is the example of BM where we are not even bothering charging our Octazookas. We get the debuff. And we're just totally messing around at this point. Don't get the debuff that time. So I was doing these battles live on Twitch earlier today, and I was trying to I was trying to win this game by timeout if possible. Another Octazooka coming through. No debuff that time. Perugly is 4 times debuffed though, since each Octazooka debuff will debuff it times 2. We Dragon Tail it down to minimal health. We come in with Gorg. We stop and we Shadow Ball. Just completely unnecessary. But sometimes you gotta have some fun for the content. It was a lot funnier, I think, when it happened on Twitch instead of in hindsight. So if you want to watch it on Twitch, feel free to go check that out. Link in the description. If you're not following me there, what are you doing? Probably productive things. Twitch can be wild at times. This trainer is running an under-leveled Beautifly, so we just water gun the whole thing down. Poor Beautifly. It was just trying to have a good day. And in comes this thing. I didn't even know what this was. I have never seen this guy before. So I'm like, well, this is interesting. I get a shield. Gonna go for another Weather Ball. Hoping to get another shield or just take it out. I'm like half talking to chat at this point, half playing. We water gun it down. And there's a Celio. So we go for the Thunder on our Rainy Cast. It gets shielded. And then I'm like, you know, I'm going to swap in my Grimer. My return Grimer I'm like, okay, I'll just take this move. Probably just a body slam or something. Boom, I get returned. Luckily, it's a 900 CP Celio. And this return Celio is trying to make me look silly. So I had to return the favor and return him back. You try and return me, bro, you're going to get returned yourself. This battle right here. Oh my gosh, Crawdaunt goes crazy. This is like the best lead you could ask for. This is such a hard counter. And I made this a YouTube short, so if you already saw the short, you're seeing this battle for the second time. But Crawdaunt here is about to go crazy. Spoiler alert. The Victini debuffs itself. We sneak in a Snarl. I'm just going to shield. I've got like 100 energy pretty much. I actually go over 100 energy, and there's a Jinx. A Frost Breath Jinx has entered the chat. They used their last shield. This Night Slash, I was wondering if it would KO from here. I honestly didn't think it would, but look at that, the Night Slash KOs. And then there's a lamp at the back. There's a lamp. And the lamp just doesn't stand a chance. Lights out. Again, and of course we get the unnecessary boost, bro. It's always the unnecessary boost. I swear there's got to be some sort of glitch. At least for me. Like, over 50% of my boosts come when the game is over. Terrific lead into Golem. It's running rollout, which I really like the animation. I think that's a very cool animation. He only did 3 rollouts, so I know this has to be a Rock Blast. In comes Machamp, and we don't have an answer to Machamp other than our Toxicroak, so we just have to stay in here and try and get rid of this thing. Because you look at our back line, Abomasnow, Macargo. Neither of those guys want to see this Machamp. So even though I know we live this Cross Chop, I'm still going to shield it because I don't want him to be able to shield and counter me down. So we land our Mud Bomb, we're able to retain Switch, and our opponent has had enough. I guess Toxicroak was a core breaker for them. No Toxicroak answer. They probably would have been better off just switching their Machamp right away, because Machamp can actually do better than Golem against the Toxicroak. On to the next one, Skunk into Quill God. They swap in Marowak. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can just stay in here if I want. Crunch lands. They're probably going to hit me with a Bone Club here. I take the Bone Club. And then I try and catch this next Bone Club on my Shift Tree. And I'm hoping I can get a Snarl down here. And I do get the Snarl down. I have to take some Fire Spin damage, though, in the process. So I'm like a little over half health. I'm thinking Quill God might come back. Gonna try and spam off these Leaf Blades. Get off another one. Maybe I should have like gone for a Denial in the first one. Here you'll see me make a pretty costly mistake, actually. I shield because I thought I could get to this next one before he got to his next Aqua Tail, but I was incorrect. And now we kind of wasted that shield in a way. Probably would have been better off saving both shields for Lux. I decide I'm going to just put it all on Luxray with a shield advantage. And there's a Shifter in back. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. So the strategy here is to go for a Psychic Fangs and then a Wild Charge. Since I know he'll get to 2 at the same time I get to 2 Wild Charges, and I won't be able to take a Leaf Blade. And look at that, he barely lives the Wild Charge. Barely lived it. With 1 HP. And has the double Leaf Blades. This Leaf Blade will take us out and hand us our first loss of the season. And you know what? I actually win that game if I had just Psychic Fanged earlier. If I just used my Psychic Fangs earlier, my Snarls probably do slightly more damage, and the Shiftry doesn't live the Wild Charge. So that was actually a very winnable game if I had just Psychic Fanged earlier. Instead of like going over the Psychic Fangs and then throwing it. But you win some, you lose some. Alomomola versus Cress. I do some waterfall damage. I'm able to catch a grass knot here on my Hypno. In comes a Shadow Politoed. I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is fine because I can throw Thunder Punches here. And they kind of have to respect the Thunder Punches. Rocking my shiny Hypno here. We've got Slurpuff in the back. Slurpuff lurking. I wasn't sure if I lived this Weather Ball. I thought it might just barely KO. So I decide I'm going to shield just to get off my Thunder Punch. This way I either get the last shield or I take out the Poly. I know I'm going to get outpaced there, so I decided to just aggressively swap in Slurpuff. Slurpuff. Cute little guy. Cute little charmer. Looks kind of weird, to be honest. It's like ice cream. Melted ice cream. They get off the move here. I know a Grass Knot I probably live, but I didn't want to risk like not getting off my charge move here, so I just shield to play it safe. Get off the Energy Ball. It doesn't quite KO. Crest gonna get off a move here. Another Grass Knot doesn't take us out. So I'm like thinking about just blind swapping, but I think I don't want to lock myself, and it's a Machamp. And if you remember, we have some energy from earlier with our Alomomola. So I'm only 3 waterfalls off the Psychic. I throw the Psychic, and this should probably KO a Shadow Machamp. Just a boom. It's a strong move, and Machamp is just so glassy, of course. Especially a Shadow in the Great League. Unable to take the Psychic, and we take the game. There we go. Recovering from our loss with a win, Joel Guzman. The next opponent, tough lead here against Vigoroth. So we actually safe swap our Pidgeot, and we're met by a Dragonair. So I'm like, all right. Dragonair is this Dragon Breath damage, very oppressive. I'm going to go for a Feather Dance here, because I feel like even if he calls it, I can probably Gust down. I get the shield, which is perfect. I didn't think I could take this Aqua Tail. Maybe I could have. Wow, maybe I could have survived that. Double debuffed. But I didn't think I would. So I decided to shield. I go for the Brave Bird here. I really need this to land. Really need this to land. Boom, it lands. But he does a nice job reacting quickly, getting off the Body Slam. Perhaps I should have gone in with my Empoleon there to tank that a little bit better. In comes Shiftry. Shiftry goes straight for the Leaf Blade, very smart. And watch this. The Leaf Blade actually takes me out from there. So very smart from the Shiftry. Not going for the foul play. The Leaf Blade was all he needed. That's great recognition. And at this point, I just got to do enough damage. Enough fast move damage, to be honest. I'm not going to get to 2 charge moves here. So I'm just committing to fast moves. I really need 2 gusts to KO this Shiftry. 1 and 2 gust KOs before the Snarls KO. And before they get to that third Leaf Blade. Third Leaf Blade? Yeah, third Leaf Blade. And we take the game. Alright, Licky into Castform. This is fine, but I actually decided to swap in my Hitmontop, because if you look at my back line, it's like super weak to Charm. So I wanted to swap Hitmontop in case they had like a Charmer, but it looks like they're just content staying in. So I'm like, alright. And this is an awkward situation, right? The Castform's still very healthy, so I don't want to just let my Castform or my Hitmontop go. I want to be able to at least get this thing lower, or at least get both shields off of it. So I go for the Stone Edge here. This way I can probably get a couple more counters off, rather than if I had debuffed myself. Oh, and actually let it go. In comes Ivysaur. And normally I don't like revealing my third here, but I feel like my Malamar is spammy enough where it puts on the pressure. And I actually realize it's a Razor Leaf Ivysaur. They catch on their Steelix, but then they shield. So they make a bit of a misplay there. If they had let that go, I'd be in a much worse spot. But now I can safely go for a superpower and dip into my Lickitung. And Thunderfang makes this better for me because Thunderfang's going to generate energy a lot slower than Dragon Tail. So I actually go for a super aggressive lick down, and I barely get the lick down before they get to another crunch. And obviously we just go for body slams here. Power Whip would be double resisted by that grass poison typing. And we get the lick down just before Ivysaur Razor Leafs us down and get the win. That was a little scary though. If Ivysaur had maybe just one more Razor Leaf in that time span, would have been able to farm us down and potentially Sludge Bomb or Power Whip the Malamar in back. We get a little Squovit as a reward, a cute little guy. He'll become a Greedent one day, hopefully. Actually, no, I think he got transferred. So he's off to Professor Willow. But all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I've got a big announcement coming for you tomorrow in the AM potentially. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully it comes tomorrow. If not, it'll be in the near future. But potentially partnering with a new website to the Pogo PvP scene. And that's all I'll say for now. But you guys will have a code if you want to get a discount and that sort of thing, if you want to help support me. So all that said, thank you so much for watching. Potentially some exciting news in the near future. And I hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you in the next one. I stumbled on my words there, maybe because it's so late and I'm recording this. But one take is usually all we do here. We keep it natural and we keep it off the cuff. So all that said, like, subscribe, comment. All comments are appreciated, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.